Moving on to the topic of the week because it's top of mind for us, which is all about dual representation. That means when we represent the seller and the buyer on the same transaction. And the question is it powerful or is it problematic? So when one agent represents both sides of the transaction, both the seller and the buyer, it can be incredibly efficient, messy. So this week we're going to unpack how dual agency works in Oregon, what it looks like in real life, because we're going through it right now and this is not our first rodeo, and what buyers and sellers need to know before signing up for dual representation.
Yeah. So our first example, we're going to give you two today. One was when it worked for us and when it didn't. Even though we're amidst one right now, we don't know if it's actually going to work or not yet.
Oh, it totally will.
So we'll give you some examples of some closed transactions. And so the example that we have when our dual representation worked beautifully is when we represented both sides of what is, I think, to date our largest transaction so far, 1.65. Yeah.
Oh,
there
yeah.
on East of Bend.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. So we had this seller, we helped him get into this house. He had a lifestyle change. He was ready to move, but he wasn't able to buy his next place until he sold this one. And this house was listed at 1.65. We had lots of interest. We actually had a couple different offers, went under contract for him on his replacement property a couple times and went out of contract. And the third time was the charm of this one. And what happened was, we had a buyer tour. It was actually our very first tour of this home. And they originally toured it with another agent who they found off of Zillow. They just clicked that Zillow button. But this buyer herself actually had her real estate license. It just wasn't active. I don't know. I think she was in referral mode or something like that. And this happened right before buyer's representation agreements were actually required. It was in that transition period where some people were using them, some people weren't.